Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So, the Pentagon investigates former Navy captain for sedition. And then we're going to have a very interesting conversation about veterans life saving that's happening right now. So, very, very good stuff. We'll look at the market. The market was up today. Now, I've said somebody was on my show, not on my show, but was in a chat yesterday asking me about XRP, where I saw XRP going. I said it could potentially double, maybe even triple. Today it was up pretty big. All right. So is that going to continue for the cryptocurrencies? At some point, no. I believe that they will turn around, but get it while you can, you crypto bros and girls. All right. So and gals. So I know a lot of you like it. I'm a speculator in crypto. I don't like crypto. I don't think it's got a future. I've never thought it had a future, but I know a lot of you believe in it. So I'm not one of them. Juan O'Savin is also one that does not believe in crypto and talked in an email today where he basically outlined how it's a DARPA thing that came out. So defense, I guess they come out with all these different things to control humanity, and they came out with the internet, and I guess the internet has been pretty good for us. So I don't know. Maybe crypto will end up being good for us, but if it's going to be good for us, really the only way it's going to be good for us is if it basically is backed by gold and silver, and that's what President Trump has said. So that's a possibility. But first, I think we're going to see a wipeout of a lot of crypto when the stock market does collapse. So it is a thing that's coming. The expert that predicted the .com crash says Americans could face a much bigger crisis soon. Albert Edwards has warned that there are some key elements which will make the fallout worse. So I've talked about this. I've been sounding the alarm about this. We're going to see 2008. It's going to be a yawn. How big this is going to go. The .com crash that this gentleman's talking about, and the 1929 crash. It all goes down, guys. But in its place is something better. So this system has to collapse. If you're in a position where you can weather the storm, like we've been trying to get you guys to go into silver and so forth, that should help you out quite a bit. There are other ways, to enhance your future. One of those, of course, is LifeWave. We talked about that quite a bit. I just did a show on it. Great stuff. Now, silver, like we talked about, was up pretty good today. Now, I've today I started investing in like the silver stock. So silver's up like 2.4 or something like that today. It was up pretty big, but the silver stocks were up double that. So this is another opportunity to diversify. I looked at the gentleman that does a bubble report, and he recommended a couple things. SIL is one of them. There's another one in there that I can't think right off the top of my head. I'll probably do a future show on that. But yeah, there's definitely a way for some of you that can't move into precious metals because you're locked into some type of, I don't know, where your stock portfolio won't allow you to go into, precious metals. You should be in precious metals, but maybe you can't yet. So that's pretty much what we're looking at, a better way going forward. Now, will President Trump, get us to the point where we're using the military to go against these people that are causing seditious activity? I think we will. And I think the military is the way. There's a gentleman that we're going to have on that right now, Jim Gale. Jim, welcome.
Hey, brother. How you doing, man? Thank you for having me on here today.
Yeah, I saw your Facebook post where you talked about the military veterans doing some work, and tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, man, I'm so excited to share this model because this model can be and should be replicated in every city, every town across the United States. And it's very simple. So what happened is I met a guy named Manny. They call him Mindful Manny, and he is one of the administrators at the Transition House, which is a shelter for homeless people, mostly veterans and all men. And he came here and he saw all of the food we are growing, and he told me about what he's doing. And I said, well, let's collaborate. And then all of a sudden, these series of ideas came to me, and here they are. We went to the Transition House and we brought 2 buckets, 5-gallon buckets of sweet potato starts. And we walked in, and these homeless veterans who have beds at this house, they're like, what is that? Right? It was instantly getting attention. And we walked into their back courtyard, and it's gravel and sand. There's really almost no life. There's a couple raised beds in the middle that this guy Henry is building. And so what we're going to do is we're creating a whole market for these folks. We're going to start by turning their whole backyard, their whole landscape into a food production system. And our primary food that we're going to grow and turn into a marketable product is sweet potatoes. And sweet potatoes, as you know, Michael, are incredibly easy to grow, and they're easy to propagate, and everything is edible and super nutritious. So now imagine this. These homeless veterans from their backyard can grow sweet potatoes and then take the vines. And here's exactly how we're going to do it, right? This is the strategy all the way down to the actual packaging. We're going to put these vines into a plastic baggie with another wet paper towel, which is wet with rooting compound from Soil Saviors and Bactigrow and these other companies. And we are going to, hey guys, I'm on a podcast. And then we are going to put them in a manila folder, and we're going to sell these for market price, right? Whatever that might be. We're talking about probably $10 for 3 plant starts of sweet potatoes. So now the profits from every sale are going to go to the homeless veterans. And there's a lot of layers to this. Any questions so far? Hello, are you talking?
I remember it was amazing what you were talking about, how much they could make.
Yes, exactly right. So these homeless veterans can earn easily $60 an hour as long as we have one thing, a market of buyers. Now, are there people out there that would like to grow sweet potatoes? You can grow these in 5-gallon buckets. You can grow them in bags. You can grow them in planter boxes, or you can grow them on the edge of your yard, right? So now sweet potatoes, by the way, I can give a vine. In fact, I did this. I gave a vine that was about 18 inches long to a guy named, his handle is Mike's in the Garden. He came back 18 months later. We had a barter and exchange event. He said, Jim, that one vine has produced over 100 pounds of sweet potatoes. Plus, about 20 of my friends are now also growing sweet potatoes off of that one vine. So what does that mean? That means that this process can literally solve food security in easily less than 2 or 3 years. Right? That's a big deal. So instead of food stamps, right, we have a solution for SNAP, right? Sweet potatoes. Instead of food stamps, we're going to be sending people food starts. We're going to teach them to fish, and the homeless men are going to make $60 to $100 an hour selling these products. Now, I just got back from a restaurant called Fire in St. Cloud, Florida. And after we ate, I walked up to the owners. I said, hey, you guys, there's a group right down the road of homeless men, veterans that have a house, and they're going to start growing food. Would you be willing to purchase the sweet potatoes and use those instead of the potatoes you're currently getting from like Cisco or something? And I actually talked to 3 retailers. Every single retailer said we would love to purchase those.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
That's incredible, Jim. And, on your Facebook page, I'm sharing that. You have that video. that you talked about all of this. So that's really fantastic.
And then it gets deeper and deeper. So after we go to the Home Depot, or then we went to Home Depot and we said, would you be willing to sell sweet potato starts? And they said, no, we have a contract with a supplier. We can't sell, which by the way is ridiculous. But what we can do, the guy said at Home Depot, is we could donate all of the irrigation and all of the material so you can get going a lot faster. And I was like, that is absolutely beautiful. So on Wednesday, after we have our final kind of design meeting about how we're going to do this, I'm going to the sheriff's station. And I've done this before. In fact, the sheriff that I went to see last time has now been in jail, and his wife is still in jail for all sorts of stuff that sheriffs sometimes some sheriffs do, right? Most of the guys I met, by the way, are fantastic. So anyway, I'm walking into the sheriff's station with the camera on and sweet potato buckets, and I'm going to ask very strongly to see the head chief in charge, and I'm going to share with them the solution to local food security, right? In less than 2 years, St. Cloud, Florida can be 100% food self-reliant. As long as we organize the local sheriffs and the local, anybody logical and anybody halfway awake to what's happening, we organize effectively around creating a foundation of food security, because food is the ultimate weapon, or maybe the second in the chain of weapons, right? The first is mind control, right? Controlling the media. And the second is the control of food. So by controlling the food supply locally and poison free, everything lifts.
Fantastic. So Jim Gale, everyone, from Food Forest Abundance, he founded that, and it's in Orlando, Florida. Unbelievable story. Highly recommend you go to his Facebook.com post and check those out. Thanks, Jim, for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure. I love your work.
Same, brother. Thank you.
Ciao, everybody.
All right, guys. Yeah. So as you guys can see, there are alternatives out there. There's some really good ideas. Jim Gale, I've followed his work for quite some time. He is a food abundance guru. He is unbelievable. He's had quite a few people very, very high up. I think President Trump is and his team are looking at some of the work that Jim does. So that's something that can be shared. It can be done all around the country. As you guys heard, you can do sweet potatoes in a bucket in your garage. The stuff is like prolific, and everything is edible. Everything on that sweet potato vine, the leaves, the roots, everything. So it's unbelievable. Great to see that, you give the homeless guys that are in a homeless shelter. Somebody asked a question, are they homeless or not? Yes, they're homeless in a shelter. And so give them a way to earn income and start to produce something really nice in their environment. So Jim talks about all kinds of different plants that could be, in everybody's garden, everybody's home. Very, very interesting stuff. So, definitely, Janet. Donald J. Trump does support the veterans quite a bit. And so this would be a great way to, all across the country, get the homeless veterans that are in these shelters involved, earning some income and turning their lives and their communities' lives around. So really, really good stuff. So I know a lot of you guys, are like, what is going on with Kentucky? Or maybe not. Maybe you don't realize there's some problems with Kentucky. There's some serious problems with Kentucky. We have, of course, Mitch McConnell, who is worse, far worse than Biden ever was. All right. So he basically freezes and can't talk, and he has to have somebody come and like steer him. Kind of like what they somewhat had to do with Biden, but he didn't freeze. He never froze. At least I don't remember him freezing, or the guy that was, playing Biden. So Mitch McConnell, senator from Kentucky. You would think that if someone was freezing, Congress, Senate, whatever, would go, okay, it's time to retire. It's like stupid simple, right? But here he is. He's still around. He's still making stupid comments. The latest is McConnell warns Trump that appeasing Russia won't bring peace. So he's one of the neocons that wants war for the industrial military complex. All right, we want peace. President Trump, during his first administration, was definitely a man of peace. There were lots of opportunities for him to go to war, but he never did. And I think he kept us out of war more than anyone else in the history of the presidency. Now, there's probably going to be some things where we need to go and clean some things up. So we're going to have to spank some probably countries, which I think is probably not going to happen before, because I don't like to do these things during the week because it messes up the economy, right? So they like that stock market to go, right? So possibly happen this coming weekend after Thanksgiving. I don't know. That's my best bet. I said that on yesterday's show too. So we'll see, but it's coming. It will happen regardless of what Mitch McConnell will probably be very happy about that, or at least the people that are puppeting Mitch McConnell, because any opportunity for bombs to go, those guys are going to be happy. So why is Mitch McConnell still there, right? Just like we saw with Biden, if they can't think, they're easily puppeted. So for bye Biden, brain dead Biden, we had Obama in his basement in his DC mansion, basically working the action, the auto pen, right? Making things happen in the background. So there's a big group of these knuckleheads that are out there, and they keep this shit show going, right? There's no other way to talk about it. And we have the most recent, 6 Democrats. One of them, former Navy captain, that probably is, I don't know. I think he needs to go bye-bye. So I think he needs to go bye-bye with like a nice little necktie. I think all 6 of those people should go bye-bye with a necktie, but it's not for me. The judicial system. Now, Trump doesn't trust the judicial system. He mentioned just recently, we've all been talking about that. The judicial system is so corrupt, it's never going to, give us what we know has to happen. James Comey just got released. So the judicial system is protecting these people. A lot of us know that. A lot of us know that these guys are going to be up for, prosecution and so forth. And it's not going to go forward because they have control of the judicial system, they being the deep state. All right. So Mitch McConnell, deep state puppet boy, he's staying in office because they can manipulate him, right? He has no brain left. He can't do anything. So they're going to make comments for him and so forth. Now, Kentucky, like I said, is a very, very strange place because they have, remember the Kentucky transgender situation that we had several years ago? Kentucky swimmer known for her activism and vocal opposition to transgender men and women's sports. How did that ever happen? Thank you, Democrats. Women participating in women's sports is Riley Gaines. So Riley Gaines, Kentucky, University of Kentucky, that one guy that came in, Thomas, I guess, what was his first name? Leah. What was his real name? His real name, Leah Thomas. So Gaines competed against a transgender swimmer, Leah Thomas. Like, what the hell? What kind of world are we in right now? This is insane, all right? And it's coming from Kentucky. Kentucky, Mitch McConnell. And there's other problems there in Kentucky as well, like Rand Paul. So what's going on with Kentucky? And then, of course, their governor, who's not openly gay, like the governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, and I don't care about, your sexual preferences, but this is more of the LGBTQ plus, BS that's out there right now. Transgendering children, it's gone way over, right? Way over the top. Governor, what's the Kentucky governor's name? Is it Andy Bashar? Andy Bashar, I think it is. And although not openly gay, we all know he's gay, and so lots of issues going on in Kentucky. All right. Rand Paul, you remember Rand Paul when he had his next door neighbor, Democrat, almost beat him to death, right, in his yard. Wow. So, and then I remember seeing him in the streets where there were like demonstrations and so forth, and people had chased him to like they were going to kill him. I guess they showed him, right? So you better follow what we tell you to do, or else you're going to die, or you're going to end up like Mitch McConnell, brain dead. We'll make that happen. All right. So I guess Rand Paul now is talking smack. It's like Kentucky is gone, right? Kentucky, like, Colorado, like California, like Illinois, like New York. I mean, how many other Georgia? Although my Georgia friends are like, no, it's not gone yet. I don't know, but so there's some serious problems in some of these states, guys. And Kentucky, I just want to bring that to everybody's attention if you're not already aware. So here is some stuff on the recent little thing that's going on with those knuckleheads that said the bad things, trying to make people in the military not follow orders from their commander-in-chief. So this is the law. This is from Glenn Beck. Real Donald Trump is looking for 18 USC 2387. Activities affecting, with an A, armed forces general. This statute makes it a federal crime to do any of the following with the intent to interfere with U.S. military operations. 1, advise, urge, or attempt to cause insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of duty among members of the U.S. military. 2, obstruct or attempt to obstruct recruiting, enlistment, or general military operations, blah, blah, blah. So sounds like number 1 is definitely in there. But I think these guys are seditious. To me, they're seditious. It's treason. And I agree with President Trump right from the beginning that these guys need to go bye-bye, right? Forever, right? So make an example of these clowns. But of course, that's not going to happen with the current judicial system, as we already know. So there was a post by President Trump about Rand Paul. So let me get to that. It's pretty much at the top. So here he is. It's, 100%. What they did is the literal definition of sedition, and they literally put it on video. This is the easiest court-martial or court case in the history of the USA. So there it is. Sedition. Conduct or language inciting rebellion against authority of a state. Insurrection, rebellion. The raising of commotion in a state, not amounting to insurrection or conduct, blah, 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 blah. So insurrection or rebellion, an illegal action inciting resistance to lawful authority and tending to cause the disruption or overthrow of the government. So I think it's sedition. That's treason. That's bye-bye-ness, right? So they'll play around with that. I don't know. I think it's absolutely got to go to a military tribunal. And President Trump has said that that's pretty much what the case is. So whatever happened to Senator Rand Paul? So both of the Kentucky senators are clown towns, right? Both of them. He was never great, but he went really bad. I got him elected twice in the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, but he just never votes positively for the Republican Party because the Democrat Party almost killed him and told him he better vote or they would kill him next time, all right? He's a nasty little guy, much like Congressman Thomas Massie, a.k.a. Rand Paul Jr., also of Kentucky. Wow. Kentucky has gone bad. It's gone bad, which I won 3 times in massive landslides. A sick wacko who refuses to vote for our great Republican Party, MAGA, or America First. It's really weird. So we've already seen Marjorie Taylor Greene basically say she's going to go bye-bye. But she's not going to go by until she gets her 5 years in so she can get her retirement at 62 for the rest of her life. All right. So all she has to do is 5 years, and she gets retirement for the rest of her life when she turns 62. So if she's 50 in her early 50s, 51, I think, maybe a little bit early, older, I don't know. So we also know that Marjorie Taylor Greene has amassed $25 to $27 million. She came into office with a measly $700 million, and now she has $25 to $27 million. Sounds like some corruption going on there. Yes, indeed. All right. So I think we're going to see a lot of resignations coming up, guys. And that's a word on the street. That a lot of people are going to start to resign. And that's going to be, some of it will be forced. Some of it will be, you can resign or you can go to the gallows. Right. So, or maybe you can resign and go to the gallows too. I don't know. Maybe if you resign, then you can hide. You're like, oh yes, I had a great, time when I was in, Congress or Senate or whatever. And then they come in and say, not so much. And in the library, we're going to put you down as a traitor, and that's how you're going to go down in history. So that's what we're going to probably see with Bill Clinton, Billy Boy Clinton, and Hillary Girl Clinton. All right. So both of those, I think both of them have refused to testify after being subpoenaed by the Congress. So not looking so good for them. Now, we know that they're not going to go and testify because then everyone will know that they're guilty, and it'll be public. So it's better to just try and just push it away. Maybe it'll go away. La, 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 la. I can't hear you. La, 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 la. So, but eventually it will catch up with them. So the military tribunals, either they get hauled in and stand trial, or maybe like Billy Boy, he's close to death. If you've seen recent pictures of him, he's really, really, I don't know, it's not getting enough adrenochrome or something, but he is really looking bad. All right. So it's definitely because they sealed the border. There's no more hundreds of thousands of children coming across that they can adrenochrome. So it's not looking good for a lot of these people. All right. And eventually it all gets exposed, and the history won't be kind to them at all. Right. So that's the way it should be. All right. So the Pentagon opens a case against Mark Kelly. All right. So Mark Kelly, he came in. His wife was in a shooting. He came in and basically he pushed real hard for gun control. I've never liked the guy, Arizona knucklehead. I'm very skeptical that he was ever elected to office. But anyway, his days are probably numbered. He's not looking. Look at that face. Is that a face you want to bring home to mama? No. Pentagon opens inquiry into Senator Mark Kelly over what Hegseth calls seditious video. The defense secretary called the senator's remarks urging troops not to follow illegal orders despicable, reckless, and false. So the Pentagon said on Monday that it was investigating Senator Mark Kelly, Democrat of Arizona, for serious allegations of misconduct, less than a week after he took part in a video that reminded troops to refuse illegal orders. Never, ever has that ever happened in the history of the United States. If it ever came close, then like President Trump said, if it had happened during the Revolutionary War, then Washington would have took him out and hung him. So we're looking at that, I think, with these 6. I feel very strongly about that. Senator Kelly, a retired Navy captain who should know better, an astronaut, appeared in the video with 5 other Democrat lawmakers who served in the military or the intelligence community, CIA intelligence community. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders. Duh. We already know that in the military. You know that. For you saying that is trying to instigate, period. The other lawmakers repeated a similar message. The lawmakers did. So several of those lawmakers have been on different shows, and they were asked, what illegal order has President Trump put out there? And they all could not say. They could not come up with one, of course. So it's not looking so good for them. It looks like the deep state press is not helping them out. So I don't know. We're going to see these guys go down, I believe. So here we go. So Mr. Trump, who called last week, that should be President Trump. Who put Mr. Trump in there? Who wrote this? Right. New York Times, of course. The useless Times. All right. So President Trump, who called last week for, and they should know better. It's not Mr. Trump. It's President Trump. Jeez. Unbelievable. Who called last week, so they're trying to like diss him, of course, who called last week for the lawmakers to be punished and suggested that they be. I'm a military veteran, and I'm not biased. If a Republican came out, if an independent came out and said this stuff, I'd be like, you got to go, dude, or dudette. You got to go, and you got to go with a necktie. So seditious behavior, punishable by death. All right, Mr. Trump wrote on a social media site. He shared another person's post that said, hang them, George Washington would. All right, so Defense Secretary of War, not Defense Secretary. Geez, this New York Times thing is really pissing me off. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth said it in an online post on Monday that the video was despicable, reckless, and false. And he had asserted that the lawmakers whom he disparaged as the seditious six, wow, that's a good one. Good job, Pete. We're encouraging troops to ignore the orders of their commanders. Encouraging troops. If they get top cover guys, like if, let's say, I mean, you have a former captain in the Navy. That's pretty high up. And an astronaut, so he's famous, and so he's a senator. He comes out and says, don't follow unlawful orders. Yeah, we already know that. What are you trying to say there? So they're giving top shelf coverage, so top level. They're coming out, and it's not just for these military, it's for the deep state around the world. So what does this do for America? Imagine this happening to Russia. A group of lawmakers in Russia came out and said, don't follow the orders of Putin if he makes an unlawful, command. They'd be dead. They'd be dead so fucking fast. It'd be unbelievable. I'm sorry I said that, but it's the military SEAL side of me. It comes out sometimes. So I'm kind of like ready to sling some rounds down range. So it is very, very tragic to see this happen in America right now. But this is the separation that we're seeing. The deep state, really trying to push. I do not believe that there's a big following of this. I think probably 99.9% of people in the military are like, that's bullshit. They should hang, right? If we could, but we won't. If we could get a, let's see who would like to see these guys, be punished for this one way or another. You probably see a good chunk of the military, probably well over half the military, say, yeah, they should be punished for that. So now, if I was a commander, which I have been, and leadership positions for most of my career, and not only in the military but in the CIA, I would tell my guys, I would have to brief them, guys, this is bullshit. Who believes this? And see, have a conversation about it and say, look, the deal. You get the orders from above. If we can, we'll talk about it. But if there's no time to talk about it, and we always used to say as SEAL teams, if there's an issue with it, we'll hash it out. But if the orders come down and we don't have time for that bullshit, it's go time, right? So you don't have time to speculate. Well, was that? I don't know. I don't know if I should push the button and send the Tomahawk off. I don't know if I should, go in and clear this house with all these terrorists in there. Maybe one of them is an okay guy. So this is bullshit, complete bullshit. And most people downrange, I promise you, are like, yeah, hang them high. All right, hang them high. Their foolish greed sows doubt and confusion, which only puts our warriors in danger. Doubt and confusion. You don't have that in a combat zone, guys. You have lawful order come down, and you have to move in an instant. So this is very troubling. These guys, all of them, know that. But for them to put that out, they have to know that they have pushed the envelope. And if there's not repercussions for these guys, which I promise you there will be, it's going to really set a bad example. If someone did stupid in the military in a command or something like that, like in front of a command, tell the commanding officer after he told everybody, okay, we're gonna have an inspection tomorrow, and somebody said, F that, that's bullshit. Oh, he would be so screwed. But that's pretty much what these guys have done. Of course, it's on a higher level. It could be a serious combat situation where you don't have time to play around with do I or don't I, right? It's very, very bad, very, very bad on many different levels. So many of you that haven't been in the military, you don't understand how when the top brass, when they make decisions, they have a lot of stuff going on up there. I remember when we used to get stuff coming down when I was like a young SEAL in the military, when I was hard head diver and all that kind of stuff. I was like, what? I remember one time where we had been out at sea when I was a hard head diver. We'd been out at sea for a long time, and then we came into a port, and we were like wild men, right? So, and we came back and caused a ruckus, and so the next port we went to, we did not get liberty. So we were all pissed off, and of course the officers went out and they had liberty because they're gentlemen, officers and gentlemen, right? They didn't come back all sloshed, and they just went out, had dinner, and came back. And next day we went underway. But of course, all the young enlisted were all like blah 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 blah. But when I look on that now, I'm like, God, how could I even think? That was just so stupid. But we were just like friggin' animals when we went out down. Of course, they had to clamp down our asses. So you don't realize that until you get in leadership positions, and it's tough when you're in a leadership position and you're having to tell guys that aren't very amenable to some of the orders that are coming down, but you have to convince them because you're starting to see a bigger picture, and you try and explain that. But again, sometimes you don't have time to explain, and you have to have everybody on the same sheet of music, where if something comes down, they have done all the research, they have all the intelligence, they're making decisions that's in our best interest. They know our skills, they know what we can do. And so it's go time right now. Go get your gear, put it on the plane, fly away, and kick some ass. All right. So that's the way it was in my career. And I can't imagine these 6 absolute effing clowns saying what they did, guys. It's unbelievable. And I don't know how stronger I can put this, that was absolutely seditious, and they should stand trial and suffer severe consequences, whatever that may be, right? So they should be pulled from Congress at a minimum right now. And well, we can't get rid of Rand Paul because he's just a knucklehead, but he's voting for the loser side. He's going to be he's exposed, right? Mitch McConnell, that boy, because he's already shown that he doesn't have all his facilities, he should be pulled. So that's bullshit that he's still in there. All right, guys. Lots of crazy stuff going on. Again, very, very interesting timing for these guys to come out when we just had the Jeffrey Epstein files released, and it's looking like Democrats are the ones that are really going to be suffering here. Kind of like why I made fun of this earlier, where I said the Democrats are chumming the water. They're stabbing some of the Democrats and pushing them out, and the sharks are eating them, and everybody's like, run. Now we can get away. So I don't think they're going to get away. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's not going to get away. All right. I'm leaving because she had that long list of stuff. I remember when I was listening to it, I was like, this is cheesy shit.
Did you bring on Jim Scott?
Yeah. So my wife is yelling at me, and hold on a second. Yeah. All right. So all right, guys. The manager, the promote, my producer, like, just lost her mind. So I'm gonna sign off. All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, and I'll see you guys next time.